how you go from, being an agent and being involved, on that side of it to now running the Buzz conference. Like how does that happen?
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's something that has evolved over time. As mentioned earlier, when I was with Remax, I used to, they had me flying all over the world, whether it was Portugal, Spain, Italy, Malta, Germany, Vienna, like you name it. They were flying me to, teach realtors how to do real estate right. Remax has built a great brand in Europe, but the business foundations weren't really there. So I developed this 90-day challenge for them. That was kind of like a foundation for them to begin their processes. But during that time, we've always done events. We would do small events at the Mississauga Living Arts Center. When I was with another brokerage in Mississauga, we would host social media events. But the buzz just kind of took off in 2020, and during COVID, during our virtual events, that's when we've set a foundation of over 19,000, if not over 20,000 registered attendees for our virtual events that we've had. But our live events have always been a great attraction for people. And again, always at the Mississauga Living Arts Center. And always catering to whether you're a realtor, a team leader, association, brokerage, a real estate board. It's really opened up to everyone. It's just kind of something that started and then it just has grown over time. I never, came out and said, oh, I think I'm going to do a real estate conference. It started bringing people together. Richard Silver started one of the first rebar camps 10 years ago. And, I think that's where I first got my passion too, because we used to go to real estate events in the United States, and they used to host these small conferences called Rebar Camp. And basically you would go in a room, and I remember attending one of my first sessions in New York, and Tom Labour was there. And I thought, oh, this can't be so bad. Tom's in my office. Let's hear what this is about. And they were talking about LinkedIn. Well, I had no clue what LinkedIn was. This is 10, 11 years ago, right? But there was only 5 or 6 of us in the room talking about LinkedIn. This was a conference, and people had coffee and it was very loungy. And then I thought, okay, let's go to the next session. Somebody was talking about Facebook. I'm like, what is Facebook? This is all new to me. So it was Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, email, database. It was more of a technology or, new social media strategies that were coming out. But that's when I first started to really fall in love with conferences and the networking and the smaller groups of, sharing of information. We were all invited to share in those conversations. So we started to bring them here to Canada. Richard brought the Rebar Camp to the Evergreen Brickworks in Toronto, and I brought it to the Mississauga Living Arts Center. And they were always around 500 to 600 attendees. I think if I had this event at a larger venue, we could have 2,000 to 3,000, but Mississauga Living Arts Center is where it's at today, and we'll have over 1,000 attendees. So it's just something that has evolved over time. But the Rebar Camp experience is about people sharing and engaging with each other, right? The Buzz conference now has evolved to a full-blown conference space where we have a main speaker and attendees in a room, but you never know. The attendees may be involved in a Q&A session at the end of the speaker's session. So we still try to keep the engagement factor there. But again, the conference is just an evolution. We don't have a conference led by realtors in Canada. We have the AREA event, which I can't wait. That's coming up in November 22nd and 23rd at the Beansfield Center. So big shout out to Tim Hudak and Lou Favaro and Natasha and everybody at AREA. And, I found out a couple of weeks ago that John D. Michelle and Trev are hosting their Realtor Quest in 2023. So events are coming back, and realtors, in order to up their game or get back involved in the pulse of what the industry is offering, they need to attend these events. This is where you're going to build your networks. This is where you're going to learn And this is where you're going to be able to engage and share and build your confidence in being, those new leaders that our industry is, so seeking right now. Our industry is changing. I see so many young entrepreneurs, young realtors who have used the power of social media to build their businesses instantly. David, it took me almost 20 years to, to become recognized in my community, because we had the newspaper, we had the real estate book. We didn't have social media or websites, or we didn't even have realtor.ca when I first started, right? This new generation has so much that they are using to build their brands and their businesses quicker. So by attending the Buzz Conference and any event that our associations put out is only going to help them now create bigger networks, real networks with real people that they can finally meet from inside a screen or from the palm of their hands. They can now meet these people live. And I'm telling you, there is no greater thrill than networking with your peers. I don't care what anybody says. I've been to hundreds of conferences all over the world, and there is no greater thrill than attending one live. So I'm hoping everybody's going to attend the Buzz Conference.